What is up, all you beautiful people? It's your boy, HeyLilJoey, or LilJoey, and we have a brand new video today to be talking about Misfits 012. We're going to be talking about all the fights, all the knockouts, all the big surprises, so let's get right into it. First thing I want to say is that this card may as well have been one of the best non-pay-per-view Misfits cards that we have ever had. It had knockouts after knockouts. We had exciting fights. There really wasn't a boring fight out there, and it was fireworks from the first bell. We had the first fight of the night, Joey Night versus Most Wanted. Now this was a big fight. Even though it was the first fight on the card, on the prelims, it was a big fight for the small creator community. Most Wanted is a small creator, and he got his chance on Misfits against, unfortunately, a very seasoned pro, an 8-0 boxer in Joey Night. The fight ended pretty quickly. I believe it was in the first or second round. I'm proud of Most. He showed a lot of heart. He took really hard shots. I could literally hear the pop of those shots after he got hit. I can't imagine it was easy being in there, but I can't imagine it was easy, getting that waved off or having the towel thrown in. So, congratulations to Joey Night. I hope to see Most back. He's gonna bounce back. I already know that, but congratulations to Joey Night. I hope to see you guys both back very soon. The next fight we had on the card was DTG versus Miles RXU. This is the second member of the RXU band joining into the Misfits universe. DTG did get the win. He got the stoppage. Miles RXU actually quit on the stool. He did show some promising things. I will not lie. I would love to see Miles back in the ring, maybe with some more training. But DTG, a lot of people were doubting him into this fight. A lot of people said that, he only had the fight with Halal. He only had the fight with SX. So a lot of people were doubting him. That's it. A lot of people were doubting him, and he was able to show that, he has improved immensely. So I'm excited to see DTG back in the ring again. I just hope they don't rush his development like a lot of these fighters. Next fight we had on the card was Fez Batista versus Ben Williams, and this fight was a big one for me because I am a huge fan of Fez, and I respect Ben Williams for how much work he puts into his training. Ben Williams pretty much had a very dominant performance. He was the faster fighter and was able to adjust to Fez's game plan, and unfortunately, Ben Williams was able to neutralize Fez, and that's how he was able to get the decision. I hope to see both of these guys back on Misfits, and I'm assuming we're going to see Ben in a title fight soon. So the next fight on the card was the KO of the night. It was Small Spartan Jay versus Fox the G. The long-awaited debut of Fox the G was finally on Misfits 12, and it did not disappoint. A lot of people were nervous going into this fight. I was nervous, watching this fight because, Fox had only had 2 amateur fights before this, and they were both in headgear, obviously. Jay has been in this position where he hasn't had to use headgear while boxing, and he was on a big stage against Bully Reef. It was a little nerve-wracking. But to his credit, Fox the G got not only the win, but got a KO and knockout of the night. It was an insane knockout. Prayers up for Small Spartan Jay. I hope he's all right. And congratulations to Fox the G. And I want to say one more thing about Fox. To everybody who says that there is no future of Misfits without KSI, Fox is the future of Misfits. Next fight we had on the card was Demoor versus Minikon, the heavyweight bout to determine who will fight Tempo Arts next. And I guess we'll be seeing a rematch of the Prime card fight because Demoor had a win over Minikon. It was probably the most sloppy boxing match I've ever seen in my entire life. People were being thrown everywhere. Minikon was leaning over the ropes. Chase was like pushing and hugging. It was a combination of both tackling each other. It was just a really outlandish and weird boxing match. I mean, let's be honest, you can't even call that a boxing match. It was god-awful to watch. God-awful. And I hope, Chase continues to develop on his game. It's unfortunate seeing that all the time. He's always doing something weird that shouldn't be done in boxing. That's what I have to say about Chase. Minikon, I kind of wish he won, but it looks like Minikon will be moving down from heavyweight. I guess we'll have to see where he moves down and what matchups he's looking for. Next fight on the card, we had Tristan versus Not Logan Paul, and this was probably the most brutal knockout, one of the most brutal knockouts of the night. Not Logan Paul, I think everybody knew wasn't going to be the winner or the victor in this fight. It was very clear that Tristan was on a different level than Rodney Peterson or not Logan Paul. And he was trained by freaking BJ Flores. So, like, for me, I think it was a mismatch. I'm excited to see what Tristan has to do next. I hope that it's against somebody who has a similar kind of training and a similar matchup. I want a better matchup. I want to see somebody who's going to throw against Tristan in the next fight. But big ups to him. Hope Rodney's okay. It looks like he's doing good after that knockout. All right, we had the third to last card on the fight, Ashley Rexy versus OJ Ros, and what a fight it was. It ended in a draw. OJ won that fight. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it or anything. I can see why the judges put it as a draw, but it looked very clear to me that OJ had edged that one out, and I just feel OJ deserves the title shot now. It was clear that Ashley was content with having a draw, while you could visibly see OJ was pissed off. Now, Elle Brook versus AJ Bunker, the co-main event, was absolutely insane. The first KO in women's crossover history by none other than Elle Brook. Now, this fight was a little bit of a hugging match at the beginning. You know, there wasn't a lot going on, and Elle was kind of finding her footing a little bit, and in the second round she found her footing and was able to land an incredible right hand on AJ Bunker, sending her to the canvas, and it was waved off after that. It was insane. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw it, because it was just, you could see AJ was out of there. Just the reaction to how she got hit. We have a new champion in Misfits, so I'm just excited to see who she's gonna fight next. She clearly has knockout power. She's gone down in weight, so let's see how this goes. And the fight we were all waiting for, Ed Matthews versus the mystery opponent. And this was a wild one, because none of us knew who the mystery opponent was. We were getting clues left and right, but no one was giving real clues. It all seemed to be, misleads. And we finally got it. Ed Matthews has made his walk to the ring, and we were waiting for the mystery opponent. And who other walks out but Ginty? This, I'm not gonna lie, this pissed me off. When I saw Ginty, that would have been the worst mystery opponent ever. That probably would have ruined the card for me. If I'm being honest, that probably would have ruined the card. But here's the thing, it wasn't over there, because Swarms walked out right after Ginty. Now, I was confused, and I thought maybe Misfits is finally doing the triple threat match. And I think I honestly wouldn't have been mad about that. That would have been cool. It would have been a weird little group between Ginty, Ed Matthews, and Swarms. That would have been a little bit weird. But then B Dave walked out, and a survivor tag match with Ginty, Ed Matthews, Swarms, and B Dave. Now that's something I wouldn't be pissed about. I was actually hyped to see if that was going to be the main event, because it looked like it was about to be a survivor tag, and then the Undertaker music played. Everyone was waiting, and here he was, the GOAT. Luis Alcaraz Pineda walked out to his famous music, and he was, for the second time in his career, the mystery opponent. A lot of people weren't happy about this, and I can understand why, but I also think a lot of people were setting their expectations very, very, very high. I'll credit Mans for putting out that Jay tweet, because a lot of people did think it was Jay, so I think that had something to do with it. But a lot of people were guessing Salt Poppy and Deji and Joe Weller, and I think that a lot of these names were pay-per-view names, and it just wouldn't make sense to have those as mystery opponents. Get it, I know why people are pissed, and I know why people would have wanted a different mystery opponent. Luis Pineda did the work, he did the job that needed to be done, and did it in spectacular fashion, knocking Ed Matthews out of the ring. Now watch this clip, it's absolutely insane. Just watch this. Wild. Out of everybody in the crossover scene, Luis Pineda is the last person I would have guessed to beat Ed Matthews, and let alone knock him out of the ring. So to me, it was a good night. For me, Ed Matthews doesn't take doesn't take boxing seriously at all. Man was smoking, man was drinking before the fight. He clearly wasn't taking it seriously. He clearly wasn't training. He said he wanted to get the knockout in round one because he doesn't like going rounds. Boxing is rounds. You can't just get a knockout every time. It seriously pisses me off that Ed Matthews doesn't take this sport seriously, especially with how dangerous it is, because this night clearly showed that this isn't a joke. This isn't, all fun and games. This is a real dangerous sport, And I just don't think Ed Matthews, if Ed Matthews is going to continue to not take it seriously, I don't think he has a place in crossover boxing. So what do you guys think? Do you agree with my takes on these fights? Did you think the card was awesome? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to absolutely knock out that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.